Hello Assassins! If like us you're excited to discover Assassin's Creed Unity, which will be revealed at E3, but you feel you need a quick recap and a catch up on events, then sit back and enjoy this video as we will be summing up all we know about the game and decrypting all the rumours. So let's start with the present day storyline, and as we all know, Desmond Miles decided to sacrifice himself to save the world, but by doing this he also released the old entity from the first civilization, Juno. She was imprisoned in the Great Temple, but now that she's free she plans to dominate the world and enslave all of mankind, as humans would have caused the death of her father and her husband. After the death of Desmond, the three remaining assassins separated. Bill decided to leave Rebecca and Sean, as naturally he was shocked by the death of his son and so he needed some time to meditate and take stock. He then sent a letter to his old assassin friend Gavin, and he also gave him his journal, containing all his doubts, fears and clues for future missions. He also asked him to take his place and to lead the Brotherhood. As we saw in AC4 Black Flag, Juno is now alive. Her consciousness has infiltrated Abstergo's network and she's looking for a host.
Make me whole again, my children. My instruments.
As an Abstergo employee, we were manipulated by a saga named John, who tried to bring Juno's consciousness into our body, but this didn't work.
Drop your weapon!
We also saw that Sean and Rebecca had infiltrated Abstergo Entertainment, and thanks to us they now have access to a lot of information about the new Animus models. What's interesting to note is that Abstergo's Entertainment Chief Creative Officer disappeared whilst he was going to Chicago, the place where Watch Dogs takes place. This could have been a little Easter egg from Ubisoft, but we doubt that Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs are connected in terms of scenario. The assassins are still moving, but they are moving silently. They must find a way to stop Juno. The solution might be to use the Animus and go back thousands of years to see how Eve led mankind to freedom, but first they need to find a descendant of Eve, and according to Assassin's Creed Initiates we might be able to play as Galina Voronina, a Russian female assassin, and by the way, don't be worrying, we will soon be making special videos dedicated to the present day storyline in Initiates. But could Galina Voronina potentially be a descendant of Eve? Could she be the new Desmond Miles? And whilst we're talking about Desmond Miles, let's briefly talk about his possible return. So it seems that Desmond Miles could be back, and many people also believe this. His consciousness, it might be in the temple, as we only saw his body dying, which means that we don't have the proof that his mind died along with his body. Desmond could now be like Subject 16 was in the Animus. Juno told us that the sixth solution found to save the world was to separate the mind from the body and bring the body into another form, whether it's organic or mechanic. We do believe that he'll have a role in the future of the franchise, and Minerva did tell him that he had to live and die with the consequences of his mistake. Another character which may be coming back is Connor Kenway, and actually it's more probable to see Connor than Desmond, as Assassin's Creed Unity takes place during the 18th century, the same period as Connor's life, and we can be pretty sure we'll see him again, but this time maybe as a non-player character, since Ubisoft they did tell us that the Kenway saga was over, so it is time to play as a brand new assassin. And according to Assassin's Creed Initiates, we know that in 1804, after the French Revolution, Connor contacted Esiosa, Arduel's grandson, and as we can see in this picture, we may think that Connor invited Esiosa to the homestead and told him that he participated in the revolutions. Also remember in Assassin's Creed 3, Lafayette invited Connor to Paris. He told him the city was dark and sick, and that is a pretty fitting description of what Assassin's Creed Unity's first trailer looks like.
One day, when all of this is over, I will invite you to Paris to stay with me and my family. She is the most beautiful city in all the world, Connor. Full of art and culture, women and wine. But she's sick on the inside. Black and rotting.
We also mustn't forget that at the end of Assassin's Creed 3, Juno told Connor he played his part and he will do so again.
Still, you have made a difference, and you will do so again.
And if we suppose this is true, we might meet an assassin that is more mature and less naive than the one we had in Assassin's Creed 3, a true assassin's leader who is determined to rebuild the Order. But Connor will certainly be a part of this year's Assassin's Creed experience, perhaps some kind of co-op mode with him similar to AC Liberation. But what do you guys think about seeing Connor again? In our previous video about AC Unity, we told you that the Assassins and the Templars might become allies in the next game. And you have to know that those two orders were only one at the beginning, and time after time they separated and became two different secret orders, and each of those orders were fighting their own ideals. But why would they suddenly be allies? Well, the answer, it could be clear, and that is because of Juno. And to beat Juno, the Assassins and the Templars, they will have to work together, at least for a short time. But it isn't the first time that we've seen this, as in AC3 we saw that Connor and Haytham, an Assassin and a Templar, were very close. But their alliance, it didn't quite work, since Connor ended up ultimately killing him. But what's interesting and quite funny is that a lot of people thought we were playing as an Assassin at the beginning of AC3, whilst we were actually playing as a Templar. And once more, this is proof that the Templars and the Assassins are not so different. We can also talk about Duncan Walpole, the old assassin who was killed by Edward at the beginning of AC4, and he chooses to join the Templars and ultimately betray the Assassins. Proof that both orders are connected and that the members of those orders may also change sides. And finally, in AC3, if you didn't notice, Bill told Desmond that Assassins and the Templars tried to be at peace, but it didn't work out. Maybe he was talking about things that happened during the French Revolution.
Have we ever tried to make peace with the Templars?
Throughout our history, there have been moments. Several, in fact. But it's impossible. There are existential differences, insurmountable. If there were to be unity, it wouldn't be a truce so much as a submission.
And we didn't even talk about the symbol of the game yet, which is obviously, for AC Unity, the guillotine. And maybe it means that both orders are torn because of this alliance, or maybe it has nothing to do with that and it could just be about King Louis XVI's execution. And finally, you know that both orders want peace, and the Assassins have faith in humankind and they want a peace based on freedom, although the Templars want order and stability, but their ideal is about the control of the humans who are too weak. But if Juno comes back, both orders will disappear and men will be nothing but slaves. This might be why the Assassins and the Templars work together for a short time. So let's now talk about multiplayer for AC Unity, and there is a rumour which seems to be true from the website The Escapist, and according to this website, Ubisoft will be showing us 2 demos at E3, one of which will be the classic single player mode and the other the multiplayer. The Escapist also confirmed that the multiplayer will be, for the first time in the franchise, a true co-op mode with a story. This kind of co-op, it could be great, and this new co-op multiplayer might also be more about being connected. Like in Watch Dogs, for example, it will be interesting to interact in your friends' missions whilst going through the multiplayer. So, we here at AC Univers, we want to know all about your thoughts on the multiplayer, and as the great doctor would say, come now, don't be shy. With next gen already here in the form of Xbox One and PS4, this gives us the chance for a better graphics and new animations, and we hope that this is the case. Anvil Next, the engine introduced in Assassin's Creed 3, was mainly developed for next gen. With 3 years of development, we might think that Anvil Next was developed especially for AC Unity, and if that is the case, the game should be awesome visually. But why is Ubisoft so silent about the game? We hope that this is because they are hiding something huge. I guess we will find out at E3. And if you watched the first trailer, you should certainly have been surprised by the graphics, as Ubisoft confirmed that the footage was created with the game engine, but as it's in alpha stage, the game could look even better on release. And to explain with a little more detail, games are developed in stages, first the alpha stage, then beta, and then finally gold when they are complete, so maybe it's too soon to judge the graphics. We can also talk about the Parker. The professional stuntman Jesse LaFleur, who made stunts for movies such as 300, Rise of an Empire, said that he was working on Assassin's Creed Unity, and he also posted a video in which he explains how to do the horizontal wall running. You know that Ubisoft always adds new gameplay features every year, so we bet that this will be in the game, and those movements were inspired by the Prince of Persia series, another franchise by Ubisoft. So, to end this video, we'd like to share with you our main expectations for AC Unity, and as ever, you can also leave your expectations in the comments section below. And first of all, we would love to see true next-gen graphics, along with a beautiful atmosphere in the city of Paris. We'd also like to see a more darker scenario with the secondary characters being much more prominent and important within the game. For the combat and stealth, we'd like to see a new fight system with a better AI, which will make fights a little bit more difficult. And as far as the stealth goes, we'd like the ability to crouch around and sneak and to stay hidden to the enemies. We'd like some missions inside of the buildings, the ability to change outfits at any time, which was a mechanic introduced in AC Liberation. And as far as the soundtrack goes, we are dreaming here, but we would like to see Jesper back for the free roaming soundtracks and Lorne for the cinematics. For the present day, we'd like a scenario much more about the actions of the assassins and Juno, and we'd like to be able to play with a third-person character like in the previous AC games. We also have a bunch more expectations, and we will be sharing these with you when we learn more about the game. But do not hesitate to tell us what you'd like to see in the game, whether these are old or new features. And this video, it was made to inform you about the potential of AC Unity, and we hope we did give you some good food for thought. We are definitely looking forward to seeing what Ubisoft will be showing us at E3 this year, and we also hope that you enjoyed this video. As ever, do not hesitate to put a like and a comment giving us your opinion, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care everybody.